everybody, and welcome to Maybe I Don't Know, a private conversation between me and my friends. This is your host, Chris.
Oh, don't forget the feds. Don't forget the feds.
Oh, thank you to all of our feds tuning in to this private conversation today. All of our CIA, NSA, all of our agents out there. I'm your host, Chris, and with me today, I have my very good friend, co-host, Rob.
Hey, how's it going, Chris? I think in today's episode, we're going to be talking about a couple of different things here, right? We're going to be talking about schooling, different articles on, how childhoods are affected and, what taking certain things away from childhood or taking away from your childhood affects your, I guess, your well-being. We're going to be talking a little bit about privacy too. So yeah, I'm very excited.
Yeah, we definitely got a lot to do. I guess the big premise today is just going to be how is all this new schooling stuff affecting kids?
Yeah,
How many kids
and
out there?
we got a little protege we want to talk about too. My boy, I don't even know how you pronounce his name. Karen?
Yeah, I think he'll say it. I think it's Karen Quasi. He'll say it. But so
Yeah,
to
okay.
start off, I have this one video. I found this kid, and it was a video on Facebook. It's they do these like it's called here 60-second docs. So they're showing off this kid, how smart he is, and let's watch the video and then we'll talk about what's going on here. It's no hate on this kid. This kid is extremely smart. It's really just a nice showcase of it, and we're not trying to hate on him or anything. So let's just watch it.
We might be.
My IQ is above the 99.9th percentile. My brain feels like a bunch of bumper cars. My name is Kyron Quasi. I am 10 years old, and I go to college. By third grade,
Let's take a little bit. Let's take a little bit of a break right here, okay? So this kid is 10 years old.
10 years old, right?
10 years old,
Okay.
right? And when you're 10, I think you you're in 6th grade when you're 12. You're like 11 when you're in 5th.
You're in 5th grade when you're 10.
5th or like 4th, basically, around that age. So not even completing elementary school. He hasn't even finished elementary school yet. He's already in college. Okay? And
Was he even in elementary school? I don't even know.
well, he said by the 3rd grade, so he was in 3rd grade. Let's just watch the rest. Let's just watch this next part. This next part is
He went from 3rd grade to
watch it. No, literally watch this. This is insane.
I had independently learned calculus and organic chemistry. By
Let's make sure everybody got that.
By 3rd grade, I had independently learned calculus and organic chemistry.
Okay.
really like that.
Independently learned calculus, organic, orgo. People, all these college students, if you are anywhere near STEM, you've heard the word orgo, right?
Yeah.
People talking about organic chemistry, all that. People hate orgo, right? And this kid independently learned these by 3rd grade. So obviously a super smart kid. Super smart. All right, let's keep going.
By 4th grade, I knew 19 programming languages. I'm also in a youth basketball league.
Okay, first of all, why would they do him dirty like that? What did they try to do? What?
Can you rewind that? I'm also in a youth basketball league with my cousin. We play 1-on-1.
I mean, bro, what the heck's wrong with these film? They couldn't say, "Hey, take it one more. How about make a shot and put it in?" Come on, what are they doing?
I guess right here he's like on timeout and he's studying calculus.
Exactly. He has homework to do. He's
like, sometimes the coach takes me out and I do calculus.
Well, I need to figure out what went wrong in my trajectory there. What happened with the release? How much force, Newton, should I put on the ball?
Hold on. We said we weren't gonna trash on the kid, but
We're
I
not
feel like the
trashing.
only thing we're
We're not trashing.
we're not trashing
No.
at all.
Like, legit, though, everything up until this point is just straight amazing. Like, the fact that he can do this is only celebrating his success, Even us, it's like, I genuinely think it was dirty of the doc people to put in that shot. Why couldn't they have just put in a shot where he made it? What the heck?
Maybe he wanted that shot. We don't know. I feel like he made this video.
Maybe. Yeah, but no hate for this kid. All love. Like, he's obviously extremely talented.
I'm in my second year of college. I love being on campus.
Okay,
I
second year
tutor
of college.
calculus, trigonometry, statistics, and computer programming. But
He tutors them.
He tutors them. So he's in.
Wait, did you say which college he goes to?
I there's an article. It actually talks about it. He goes to a college. Well,
MIT,
we'll see
right?
it. No, it doesn't say. It's not MIT. I don't think, unless recently he went to MIT.
Oh,
But it's just like
okay.
a regular college. Like, he just goes to. We'll look at it. It's in the article. After this video, I'll show it to you. But yeah, he goes to like just a regular college, but he's still going to a college. It's second year, so he went to a full year of college before he was 10. So when he went to college when he was 9, right?
Mhm.
4th grade,
Okay.
he was in college.
I only spend about 3 hours a week on homework. And I go to bed at 8 p.m. A lot of people say my childhood is being destroyed because I go to college, but guess what? My friends have
Guess
even
what?
less time to hang out because middle school homework is crazy.
Yes, bro. Crazy.
Really?
All right.
Wow. Okay.
So there it is. There it is. And this is the article I found talking about him going to college. So he's 10. He's on his second year of college already, right?
Yeah.
Then, even past this, so he's already on his second year of college. His friends are in middle school, and I don't know. I was reading here in this article, it talks about him interacting with people in his college, and they're like all nice to him, and all that stuff.
So why don't you go up and pull up the article on your screen? We could take a look at it.
I have it on my screen.
Or is it? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, here it
You
is.
see it, right?
Yeah, it just popped up. Yeah,
here
I
it
think
is.
I read this article, and he said that he interacts with his classmates because people are, I guess, don't know if they should be able to talk to him, so he pops up a conversation. I wonder what his conversations even look like with these guys.
I don't know.
Hey guys,
I don't know.
what's up?
And here's
Well,
the
let me
thing.
ask you this:
Yeah.
What would you do if like a 10-year-old just popped up in one of your like electrical engineering classes?
Dude, the thing is, I don't know. I don't want this to come off as mean or condescending, but you can't form a friendship with this kid if you are 20 years old. It's a completely different friendship than a friendship with like me and you, people of your age. The maturity factor and everything is so important. Him being 10 years old, 10. He's 10. Okay, he just made double digits. He just would have came out of elementary school, right?
Yep.
He's
as
smart,
old as my
sure,
baby cousin.
but you can't make real friendships with him. It'll be like how I treat my younger cousins, or you can be friendly.
Yeah, I mean, I think you can be academically like colleagues with this kid. I feel like if you try to. I mean, like if
Like, you
he's
see him in
definitely capable,
class.
right? Yeah.
Yeah. You see him in class, you'd be like, "Oh,
Discuss
how's
homework
Fortnite
and-
going?" and all that, But you can't talk
Yeah.
about like real life stuff. You can't be talking to him like
Yeah, like the real hard stuff about like
he's not coming over to your apartment late night and you're like, "Hey, dude,
Is that
my
even
anxiety's
legal?
been acting up like crazy. I don't know if I can
Oh,
pass
right,
this college stuff." He's like, "Bro, just play some Fortnite with me or something." Like, So
Isn't that what people like our age do?
what do you mean?
They just go to their apartments and play Fortnite.
I mean, I don't. I mean, maybe. I don't know.
No, I'm not saying maybe. But I'm saying like, yeah, that's. I mean, most people his age
Yeah,
and
we
our
play
age
video games.
included
Yeah.
are playing video games like all the time. I feel like it wouldn't be that much different, you know.
Hmm.
You know that game we
Of course,
hopped
of course.
on that
That's a-
Wii guy.
That's a past. No, of course, but that's like a pastime of ours. What life experience does he have to be able to relate to you on that level?
How many kills you got in Fortnite?
I get anxiety when I'm playing Fortnite. Am I gonna get the dub? And look, and that's not.
I see your point. Yeah.
That's all just to say. That's all just to say that his friends clearly are his friends in middle school. The people in his year, you know, the sophomores in college, they can be friendly with him, but they're not gonna be. It's nowhere near a real friendship. You know what I mean? You know, and that's not to hate on him or anything, but you just can't get to that level. The age difference is wild, right?
Yeah.
And
mhm.
I was just gonna say the reason why I think this kind of ruins his childhood is because I see college.
Oh, so you think it does ruin his childhood?
Yeah, I see college as more of an experience than anything, right? You learn, obviously, a big part of college is setting yourself up to hopefully learn the things you need to learn to get a job, right? But it's also it's a really big experience. It's an experience for you to grow, to meet people that you will be friends with for the rest of your life, right? Just the experience you get from being, this is one of the first points where you kind of become an adult and you become super independent, right? You are basically living on your own, most likely. Some people stay with their family, that's fine. But you're living on your own. You have to do all your work, you're studying, maybe you have a job, you're doing all of that on your own. You're basically forced to kind of grow up in this environment. You know, and I think that experience he's being robbed of.
You think he's being robbed of the experience of growing up? Like, since he's put in this situation where he does have to be independent?
Yeah. Well, it's not, no, okay. I don't even think he's being fully, he's not, there's no way, and it's fine. A lot of people don't live at college. Most people don't dorm, whether it's financial or whatever. That's fine. Yeah. But he's not making those real friendships, right? He's not, his parents, he still is going home, and I'm sure his parents are like, hey, you got to study from now to this time. Hey, you got to do this and that. You know, how much of it is how much of the outside things, outside of college, the learning experience, how much of that is he getting? I would say probably not that much.
Yeah, and I think also what he's being deprived of, and I also kind of agree that he's being robbed of a childhood in some aspects, but I also think that, like, you know, do you need to have a lot of the things in a child, like in I guess a normal childhood, to have a happy life in the future? Yeah, I guess we could talk about that too. But I think one of the things he's being deprived of is, like, yes, that like social interaction with like people his age and like people on like a mutual understanding or a mutual like level as him. Because I'm sure like when he hangs out with his friends in middle school or like his friends at, I don't know, does he even go to elementary school? Like, it seems like I'm really curious. Both? Did he just go like up to third grade? Like he was a normal kid going through elementary school and then straight to college? Is that how it happened?
I would love to talk to him, because I don't even know if he's doing is he doing night classes and he goes to school at the same time?
This is crazy because we have him on the show here right now.
Yes.
Karen, why don't you come join us on the show?
Oh, dude, I wanted to say that surprise, but welcome on to the show.
Thanks, guys. It's amazing.
My IQ is above 99.9th percentile.
Oh, I read that.
Oh, thanks, Karen. Yeah, thank you, bro. What do you think about what do you think about your brain?
My brain feels like a bunch of bumper cars.
Oh, nice, dude, nice. Oh. Yeah, it's crazy.
Who's the most famous person you've met? No way, Neil deGrasse Tyson.
I don't think he says that.
My name is Kyron Quasi.
Which one are you? Are you Neil deGrasse Tyson or? Why would you introduce yourself with two people in the picture?
Well, I think you know who he is.
Nah, I didn't. I didn't
You
know.
didn't know? You didn't know? Yeah, you're right. You're right. You're right.
For all I know, this is Neil deGrasse Tyson. Like,
I
it's
don't
just his
know.
twin.
It's probably, that's a compliment for sure. Like, honestly, well, here's another thing that I was thinking of, right? Well, for one, I think he's getting robbed of the college experience, but also being a kid is something that is like you look back on and you wish you had more of, I wish I could have cherished that more, you always think back,
Yeah.
oh, I wish I go back to when things were simpler. But I didn't have to worry about all this college work. When I could just be a kid with my friends and all that, I think he's losing that too. That's a huge part of it.
Yeah. But you got to see in this article, and I think he like reaffirms this, and I don't know how much of his own words we can take like as weight, but he does say like, he really enjoys what he's studying, like he really finds excitement in all the things that he's learning, right? You can't really like, at least for a lot of people, the reason why people miss their childhood or miss being a kid is because those things were more fun, or like those things were more exciting. Like, I guess like going outside and just hanging out with friends. But like, and he's getting no stress, like there's no stress in that. But then he's like, we go into the real world and there's like work and there's stress from that. He's like finding no stress in like a lot of these things, and like he's getting really excited from it. And maybe he's not going to look back and realize like, I wish I could be a kid when things were exciting. This is when things are exciting for him,
I guess, but what's most likely going to happen is right now he's 10 in his second year of college, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
He's going to finish college when he's 12. Okay?
Yeah.
And apparently he's learning 19 coding languages. He's probably doing some kind of computer science degree or something like that, right?
I think he says he's majoring in math and hold on, I can bring up his Twitter.
Yes. Yeah, I wonder if he's already on. I wonder if
he's majoring in math. Wait, no. It's on that article you sent, I'm pretty sure.
No, I do remember reading it on the article somewhere. Let me see. Oh, this was insane. We got to talk about this quote, but in a second we'll talk about it. He's excited about an internship with a major tech company in Silicon Valley, working in artificial intelligence division.
Yeah, and he's majoring in math and chemistry at Las Positas College in Livermore, near San Francisco.
Yeah. So he's doing math, but he's obviously going to do some kind of computer science degree. That's what he wants to do, right? He's 12. You cannot hire this guy. It can't be legal to hire somebody that's 12 years old. A 10-year-old, you can't. No company can hire him, right?
I don't know how the child labor laws work. I think as long as he's getting paid, I don't see what the problem is. And he voluntarily signed up.
They can't work. Like, okay, here, legally, 12-year-olds can't work in traditional after-school jobs, such as supermarket cashier, that their slightly older peers are eligible for. Also, they may not be emotionally ready for the commitment.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think they can. And I think even at 16 or like 14, 15, here you go, state labor laws divide it between those that are 14 to 15, 16 to 17, and then older. And those jobs, they make you work less hours.
So I think he's not actually working. According to his Twitter, he's an AI research mentee at Intel Labs. So I think being a mentee is like a kind of non-paid type of thing,
Yeah. Well, then they're not making him work.
Yeah. I guess he's not making him work. I guess he's searching for like a mentor or something, and then that person is just like, guiding.
They probably give him like little things. Hey, do this, but they can't make him work. And that also feels a little bit. It depends what they're doing. I mean, we can't speak on what they're actually making him do, but if they're like making him code stuff for their company and they're not paying him and just saying he's a mentee, that's kind of fucked.
Well, a lot of his things is research oriented. So
yeah, if he's like researching stuff for this company.
Yeah, I'm sure like a lot of his work is not going towards like client facing products for like Intel, but it's rather just going for like more research stuff because it's like more
Yeah.
just like progressing the artificial intelligence science like discipline. I feel like.
And what I see happening is he's gonna finish college at 12. Maybe he goes to MIT and does like I don't know how many more years.
Yeah,
But
I feel like he's definitely gonna do some more.
He's gonna do a PhD for sure. Because he's gonna come
oh
out
my
12.
God, he's gonna be a doctor at like age 16.
He's gonna be. He probably do his doctorate. Yeah, he probably could do his master's. You could do that in a year if you go hard. You could do a master's in a year. Doctorate maybe 2-3 years if you went super hard. So maybe in an extra 4 years, like you said, 16, he might have a PhD, something like that.
I wouldn't be surprised. Yeah, but yeah, I would go back and like I wanted to finish my point I was making earlier. He's being deprived of like this social interaction. And I think that's like the only detriment to like his childhood, not like the academic stuff,
but
of
course not.
The socialization part. And I have an article here that I wanted to bring up. It's by Jordan Peterson, who's a famous psychologist.
Jordan,
and he made this what's it called? R&T, socialization and play. I should have made a link for this.
And Jordan Peterson, let me pull up real quick just to give a little introduction on who this guy is. People know him. He's very famous. He's a professor. He's a clinical psychologist. He's a professor of psychology. So if he's talking about child psychology, he probably knows a little bit of what he's talking about. You know, his field is psychology. But yeah, keep going.
Yeah, and he's made a bunch of papers about like, you know, social psychology, social sort of identity and stuff like that. But there's this one paper that I realized because I was thinking, and what made me look up this paper was, you know, like when you're a kid and you're like 10 or 11 years old and all you're doing is you're around like people not your age. You know, at least when I was a kid, I was around people like, and we would play and like kind of roughhouse with each other, or at least with people like in my house or and stuff like that, like my brother or my cousins or like my schoolmates. Like we would like kind of roughhouse with each other as a kid. So this paper is about play and the regulation of aggression, meaning that your socialization and your aggression is kind of tied to the way you grew up and the way you learned how to play with other people.
Okay.
So we can go to the conclusion of here. Where was the sentence? I'm sure. Play is an important role in the modulation of aggression, both with regards to its inhibition and with regards to its integration into a fully functional individual and social identities. So I feel like with him being deprived of like hanging out with like people his age, he's being deprived of this aspect of play in his life. I mean, he is playing video games, but like this is more talking about like R&T play, which is he mentions this in the article. R&T rough and tumble. It's like when you like have
physically interacting.
Like physical like play with other people.
Yeah.
I think he's being deprived of that, and that could lead to like detrimental effects into like how his aggression is sort of modulated in the future and how he socializes with other people. And this could go into like how he you know, maybe his future wife, or I don't know, if his future husband,
whoever, his future partner,
his future partner, right? This could have detrimental effects into that. I feel like this is the social deprivation or like his lack of socializing with people his age is going to like have those negative effects in the future.
Sure. And I think it'd be interesting to figure out. I would like to learn about how much of this is he being like deprived. So obviously he still keeps in touch with his 4th grade friends. He says that in the video, you know, so he still talks to them and all that. I think it'd be interesting to see how much time does he spend with them. Now he's like a public figure. He has a
Yeah.
Twitter. He has to keep up with his Twitter. He has to do college. He has to do all this.
And if you look at his Twitter, like a lot of his tweets are about, I'm about to go speak at this event. I'm about to go speak at
Yes.
here. Excited to speak. So he's got to be traveling in and out
Yeah.
of places like
How
all the
much
time. Like
time?
no way he's seeing like. And what friends is he gonna like? Does he have like a home like school of friends like back at home? Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
and they're just like, I wonder where Karen is. Oh, he's probably giving a speech at Shift.
I mean, dude,
And
like,
did you see that article? Like, in the article, he said like he was on the playground and he was talking to like his
oh wait,
his
are you gonna talk
friend
about the kindergarten
like,
one? The Bashar
Yeah.
Assad?
yeah,
Okay, I wanted to talk about this too. Yeah, yeah.
like that's crazy. Like, okay, so he was on the playground according to the article,
Yes.
and he goes to his friend and he was talking to him about like this terrorist group or something about like that. What did he say? Do you have the article pulled up?
Yeah. I have it up right now. So, he's talking about so this is what he said. This is in quotes. In kindergarten, I learned that telling my friends that Bashar al-Assad was using chemical weapons against his own people would cause kids to cry on the playground. My parents received a call from an unhappy principal that day, and telling my third grade science teacher that her knowledge of gravity lacked depth earned me a spot on her naughty list for the rest of the year. So, one, he's talking about Bashar al-Assad is like he's a Syrian. He was used to be the Syrian president. I don't know if he still is the sitting. I don't know if he's still the
Like-
sitting Syrian president. It looks like he still is. It looks like he still is a sitting Syrian president. Anyway, apparently, at least what the U.S. said was that he was committing war crimes against his own people. You know, use of chemical weapons on his own
Yeah.
people. Crazy stuff, like really bad things that most kids should even hear about. You know?
Yeah.
And he's and also this name Quasi, he might be some kind of like, that might be like Middle Eastern. It sounds like something like Iranian or something.
I thought it was Egyptian.
Quasi, what's the word? What's the word? Ethnicity?
Ethnicity. Yeah.
Yeah. Just want to know where he's from, but okay, I'm just gonna say most likely he might be Middle Eastern, so maybe he heard from his parents talking about this stuff and like he picked up on it, you know, about what's going on with Bashar al-Assad. But wait, yeah, they say it in the article he lacked a lot of emotional intelligence, you know, and that's just stuff that kids don't have emotional intelligence, right? They learn it, and you know how you learn it? By spending time with other kids and seeing. When I say this, kids don't like it. When I do this,
Yeah.
you don't come out of the womb knowing, oh, I can't say these things because it'll make people upset. No, you learn it by spending time with kids. If he's going around doing all these talks, all this stuff, like he's missing a lot of things that he gets to learn just by interacting with others. I totally
Yeah,
agree with you.
and
That's
I
where
mean,
he's most being affected.
Yeah, and like who's gonna want to play with a kid there like with who's talking about like bombings and stuff when you guys just want to go around and play like hide and seek or something? He's probably hiding with another kid and saying like, "Hey, did you know that the Syrian government is bombing their kids?"
I mean, imagine if you're a teacher and you come in and the person's like, he's like, "Oh my God, people are dying from chemical weapons, Bashar al-Assad," and then you're like, "What are you, bro? How do you know this? Like, what are you talking about?" And he's in kindergarten.
I would be like, "What the fuck is going on?
What are you talking about?"
I don't know.
But
I would be very scared of. I mean, I wouldn't be scared of him as a kid. I think I'd be more interested, but I'm sure like a lot of people would be very just like, that guy doesn't know, like, what is he talking about? You know, I'm going to stay away from him. Maybe, you know, that's just like seeing the bad side in kids because kids are pretty evil. Like,
oh, yeah. You're saying kids would basically find him weird and they wouldn't want to be friends with him or something.
Yeah.
But I think obviously he's a smart kid. Sure, he would have grown up as a weird kid or something. Maybe other kids would have seen him as weird. But I think he still would have made friends. And this was my point overall that I wanted to make. was that it should have been the parents' responsibility to keep him in school, to allow him to learn how to interact with people, how to get friends, all that stuff. That would have only been helpful to his life,
Yeah, I think one thing that does like counteract this point, I think we're both making, that he's not hanging around with people his age, is he's in the basketball league. That's very important.
He is in the youth. Well,
because,
how does he have time to go to youth basketball now?
Because this solves the physical play problem.
Yeah.
Because he's physically playing. He is with his one cousin or his one friend on the basketball courts.
I hope he's keeping that up. I hope he's keeping it up because that'll help him for sure.
Yeah, he's like, Coach, I can't make it to the game. I gotta talk at shift at 5.
Yeah. I gotta talk to all these 30-year-olds about artificial intelligence.
My mentor wants me to learn about neural networks and how to optimize them. I can't make it to practice.
What can you do? What can you do?
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like with his I guess his basketball league, like he has so many other responsibilities now that are just going to hinder that.
Mm-hmm.
Like for basketball leagues for kids, like that's something you do after school, and all the kids there don't have anything else to do because they already finished their school, right?
Yeah.
But he like what's his schedule look like? It's crazy. He's on a college schedule where like your classes are like from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. or 8 p.m.
He has to do work. He says he does homework for 3 hours. Apparently now he has to upkeep his Twitter. He has to go to talks. He has to go to Intel to like talk to his mentee. It's insane.
Yeah. And we got to think about it. This is a 10-year-old. I want to look up the Twitter because I have a theory that his parents are just like super rich and super connected and are creating this fantasy for this kid to like make him look like a badass or something. Just like, can you imagine like right here? Like, this is a fake computer. And like this is all fake stuff, and they're just making him seem like he can do all this stuff or something like that.
Well, why would they need to get a fake computer?
Because what if like he actually can't do this, but like they want to make him feel like
why,
like when you're
a computer or something?
No, this is like saying I heard the market could use a few 11-year-old penetration testers. So excited to start the ethical hacking course. I'm just saying, like, I'm theorizing that, like, like when you're a kid, you make believe, like, I'm a robot and your parents will play along with it.
Yeah.
But if its parents are he's like, I'm a hacker. Look, I can do all this stuff. He's not actually doing it.
He comes out like, hey, Mom, I have the 99th percentile IQ. And then his parents like, oh, we got to get him that IQ.
It's like, yeah, why don't you go make a Twitter about it and like post about it? And he's not actually like this smart or something.
Maybe,
like this is just
they paid his way
into
like college. Like what they did was they paid a coach to put him on the college basketball team, and then he came and watched his youth basketball games. Okay, yeah, we're done. We can't. Okay. Anyway,
I mean, like, I don't. He could just be living in his own imagination. No, he probably is 100 times smarter than all of us.
I know. He's obviously he's a genius. He's going to do great in life. But like I said, and this is what I want to talk about next. It's really up to the parents, and I think the parents here are the only people that we can blame because this kid, he's probably very happy. He's excited. He's doing all this crazy stuff. But it should have been his parents that should have been like, hey, maybe we keep him in school for a little bit longer. That's
a hard move on the parents. I feel like you're thinking as a parent, I want what's best for my kid. I want him to grow up like in the most optimal environment where he mentally he's okay and socially. I guess they try to socially compensate by putting him in the basketball league.
I don't know,
but like mentally, this is the move. Like for like your intelligence wise,
Well, either way, I think Kieran. I think he's gonna be fine. Even like you said, I think let's give it the benefit of the doubt, and maybe he's getting a really good balance. He has all the social stuff, he has all the great college stuff, all the professional stuff. So let's say maybe he's getting good balance. But
yeah, hopefully. Mm-hmm.
I want to talk about this family right here. This is a family I found yesterday, and I thought this was crazy. This is a family that's been living on a boat for 10 years, and in the video. It's a 28-minute long video, so we're not going to watch all of it. Not even close. I'll just show like little things of it. But
Okay.
They go on these, sometimes they'll go on these trips for months at a time, completely off the grid, nowhere, not near anybody, like in the deep seas, not near any ports, nothing, none of that, right?
Okay.
This family, they had a baby girl. You can get a picture. They show off their baby.
So they just
There we
travel a
go.
bunch.
Yep,
And
they
like,
have
okay.
they have a baby. They live on a boat. The boat is self-sufficient, so they never have to go into land. And I was watching the video. I was really waiting for them to say, "Oh, and after these 10 years, we finally have a kid. So now we're gonna go back to civilization to give our kid a proper upbringing."
Mm.
These, and they never talk about anything like that. In fact, they end the video off by saying they're gonna be going to the Arctic. They're preparing their boat to go on this. Let's see if we can bring that up. You probably
And
talked
nature. You literally live outside all the time.
And up to the Arctic, and
There you go,
really
right here.
looking forward to exploring some places that are different for us. So we are going to sail up to Greenland and up to the Arctic and play around in the ice for a little bit this summer. It feels a little bit terrifying.
Okay.
In fact, when
Wow.
It looks like they're just gonna keep continuing this journey and all this adventure. I mean, right off the bat, what do you think about bringing up a kid in this kind of environment? What do you think about that?
So I don't know if like you mentioned this in the entire of the video, but
I watched
think
the whole thing, so yeah, you can just ask. But yeah,
when they travel to these places, like they're going to Greenland and like they sail there, right? Do
Mhm.
they like interact with like the people? Like, do they ever get off the boat? Live there for a little bit and then go back on an adventure? Is that how that works?
so most of the time, I would say they did talk about this. Sometimes what they'll do is they'll stick around ports. Every month they go in to just go grocery shopping. He did say that they stick around and sometimes they go out to like look at the nightlife. But now they have a baby and stuff, so they're not doing that as much. They're not going to bars, none of that as much. They're really just going in to get groceries. And so they shop for like a month's worth of food, then they go live in the boat for a month. And sometimes
Okay.
they'll go on month-long, like 5 months long adventures. They stock up on all their food, and they're just in the middle of the ocean. They're not near any ports, nothing.
Okay, this is really, to me, it's kind of cool. Like, depending on how they play this, like in terms of like how did they get this kid social interaction in the future. But like for his first 5 years, I mean, like if you're a parent, like you're with your kid most of the time, like you might drop him off at daycare. But like this is to me, this kid's experiencing like something really cool for the first 5 years of his life, where he's on the
Her.
ocean.
It's a girl.
Or
too,
her,
by the way.
sorry, my bad.
It's all right,
Zay.
it's all right. Not like you'd be able
But
to tell,
she's
but yeah.
yeah, she wasn't wearing a shirt. I didn't know that was a guy. But yeah, she's on the ocean. She's probably looking at such beautiful, like natural, like or like sunrises, sunfalls, like probably going like seeing fishes and everything like that. I don't know. It seems really cool, like to grow up like that.
Uh-huh. Here's the
But
thing.
yeah,
I was just gonna make this point real quick, that isn't it, because you would know more about this than me because you've done some child psychology and stuff, but isn't it a big important part of your upbringing, like the first couple of years, that as a baby or as a kid you have to interact with other kids? Isn't that a super big part of your social development?
Yeah. And to our viewers and feds, I am a professional child psychologist. Actually,
Of
I
course.
do have
I mean, our FBI
10
agents do
years,
that.
10 years in the field. I'm actually Karen Quasi, and I went to college when I was 9. Have 10 years experience in the field already. Only 21. I'm just kidding. I've taken a few classes in child psychology, but
Pick them up.
I would say your development of your brain for the social interaction part of the first couple of years is mainly determined from you and your parents. So like he's still getting that, he's still getting that sorry. I don't know why I keep saying he.
That's why.
But she's still getting that social interaction from her parents, right? So I mean, for the first couple years, she's probably like gonna have a normal development. Just like maybe she's like she might even be more happier since like she has such like high visual input that's like satisfying for the brain. I don't know.
Okay. Okay. That's
Yeah.
interesting. Because I definitely did not know that. I thought it was way more important for her to be interacting with kids. But yeah, fair enough. So
Oh, like
that's
people her age.
yeah, people her age. Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think like the most of it comes from like your parents, because like not all people have like siblings to interact with, right? And like not all people have like, especially when you're a baby, like you don't get dropped off at daycare all the time, like
True.
you know.
But you still have periods because when do you start going to preschool and like nursery school and like stuff? Isn't that when like you're
I think when
3?
you're like 3 or 4.
Yeah, and that's when you start interacting with other
Well,
kids.
some people don't go to preschool. Like you usually start kindergarten when like you're 5, right?
I thought isn't preschool required?
I don't think so. I think if you're homeschooled for preschool, you have a choice.
I don't know.
Preschool is vital for Brandon because it provides academic cover, but it provides a nurturing environment. I don't think it's required. Kindergarten might be grade school.
Okay.
So this is what I was saying. Like, I think for the first 4 or 5 years, she's going to be fine, because you can get most of your social interaction by interacting with your parents. But, when it comes to like developing into adolescence, that's like sort of, I want to see what their game plan is for, how's she going to get social interaction and academic interaction.
Yeah.
Like
I
in
mean,
her like years between
academically,
5 to
yeah.
20 or something. I don't know.
I
Yeah.
don't think anybody can argue that. And maybe we should look this up. But I wonder how homeschooling compares to academic schooling.
Oh well, it's got to be dependent on the parents.
It's got to be the one thing I've seen that's kind of
If
good
you're
with homeschooling.
Elon Musk, yeah, your kids are sick. You know how Elon Musk has his own homeschool?
He does?
Yeah, he homeschools his 3 kids.
And what does he do? What does he do?
He teaches them like engineering and like physics, chemistry, all that stuff.
Oh. Yeah.
He has his own school.
It's super dependent on the parents for sure. And
Yeah.
this guy's a mechanical engineer, so he's obviously very smart. He definitely has some knowledge. I don't doubt his ability to teach, but once again, I think it's all gonna come back to how do they do it socially? Is she gonna be lacking socially? Being in an ocean, isolated? Because at least other homeschools, I've seen it where, one of our friends, if you remember Caitlin, she was homeschooled, and maybe I shouldn't have dropped her name. Oh, nobody knows who Caitlin is. Nobody's gonna know who it is. But
Yeah.
anyway, she was homeschooled.
Hey, she's fucking weird.
No.
Or is that what you were gonna say? I don't know.
No. I think that's just you. I think that's just you.
Well, I was trying to predict what you were gonna say. Like,
No. She was homeschooled with other kids. So it was basically like she was going to school. She had her friends. There was a bunch of parents that brought all their kids together and they were just homeschooled. And I think that takes care of the social interaction. And obviously the parents are going to have different fields where they're all good in.
right? Yeah.
You can't do that on a boat. If they're just out in the sea, you can't do that.
Yeah. And I mean, if this family's life is all about adventure, exploration, they don't plan on like coming back to like the land where they have to live in like normal civilization, then I mean, this could be kind of cool where like her whole life is just about exploring and being on an adventure in the sea, like she doesn't know what's back at like, and can we even say like regular civilization is that much better? Like that seems like a pretty lit lifestyle. You're just exploring all the time.
I think the problem that I see with it is it kind of forces her into a lifestyle that she didn't choose. And obviously, when you're a kid, you can't choose your lifestyle. Your parents choose it for you. But I think the one thing is that her parents chose that lifestyle, right? The one guy chose to sell his house and buy a boat. And then the other, his wife, or I don't even know if they're married, But his partner chose to leave her family in Australia or whatever and live on a boat for this long. And I think that when she grows up and she learns, because they have internet, they have all this stuff, going to be able to like be connected to the world. When she learns
Yeah.
about this whole world, if she's not getting the proper schooling and stuff, she really doesn't have a choice but to like live on this boat for the, live on a boat and do like these random jobs to get money and then go back to, because that's what they do. They go into
Yeah.
port, they do some random jobs, they get money, and then they go back to sea.
But you can make the same argument for us or like for people who grow up here. Like we'll go on the internet, we'll find videos like this, and we'll be like, "Oh, that looks so cool. I wish I could do it." But I haven't grown up on the sea. I don't know the sea. I don't know how to make money
But
on a
clearly,
boat.
it's
Right?
possible to go from our lifestyle to that. But it's much
Is
harder to
it?
go from.
I don't know.
The guy was able to do it. He sold his house and just bought a boat and just did it, right?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I didn't
Right?
think about that.
Like the thing is, if she doesn't have, and I don't know how hard it is to transition from that lifestyle back to a lifestyle like ours, a civilized, right? You're in civilization and all. But the one thing that I
Yeah.
see is that one, if she stays on the sea her whole life, socially, I mean, I can't imagine only talking to your parents, and you can't like meet any friends. You'd have to like just talk to them over the computer or something. Like when you go into a port,
Wow.
maybe you meet some younger people, but they can't stay with you. You're gonna be out in the sea. Maybe you just talk to them over the computer. So socially,
Yeah.
it's gonna be lacking. And also, what if she wants to go to like college and all this? It's gonna be harder for her to get into those schools. If all she was homeschooled. You know?
I'm just imagining like her, like she's growing up and she's like, my lifestyle is so fun. Like this is what I'm imagining she's thinking, and like she's like having so much fun in the sea. And then over here we're talking about her like, what if she wants to go to college and like study chemistry? Like she's lacking that choice, and it's fucked up.
It's
And
fucked
over
up.
there, she's probably just living the best lifestyle. Like
She has to be depressed like me. She has to be stressed just like us. It's messed up. That's not allowed.
She's not even having fun, like traveling, going to Greenland and the Arctic, and seeing all this cool. I don't know. I
You're
think
probably
it's. I don't
right.
know.
She's probably living her best life. You're probably right. Yeah.
But I mean, I think all lifestyles will have their their consequences and like their negatives.
Yeah.
So we can't have it all, right? But to say that, but yeah. I mean, I don't know. We can't. No lifestyle has the full package, I would say.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
But
Yeah.
I think hers is definitely unique, and so is Karen Quasi's. His is unique too, and I think maybe even them knowing that their lifestyle is unique is maybe what brings them well-being or like some sort of satisfaction. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I hope we'll see what happens because they'll probably keep posting on YouTube. We'll check in on her in like 5 years and see what's going on.
Yeah,
This
we should
kid.
let's make a mental note here to get her on the show when this podcast exists
yeah.
10 years in the future,
Of course.
It's like,
Exactly.
look, we were talking about you when you were a baby.
That's crazy. That's actually crazy
Yeah.
that because she's in the limelight right now, because her parents have a YouTube and they'll probably keep documenting her. They might I don't know what they're gonna do with her child. I don't know if they're gonna document her whole upbringing or whatever. But
Mhm.
there are people that she's never seen, strangers. Not many people get this experience that know what she looks like. They know her upbringing, that potentially like they know how she
Yeah.
lives, all this stuff. People thinking about her that would have otherwise never known she existed. Wild.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I wonder, like, I'm curious. Oh my.
Cool, Lukey. Getting a little feisty.
Anyone's at the door. Lukey, shut up. Oh, it worked.
That worked.
Yeah, I don't know like what sort of effects like being brought up in like the limelight. I'm guessing like celebrity babies are like kind of experience that.
I mean, we've
And I think
seen where like like Disney Channel stars and like when they're like childhood, like they go crazy, like they go off the deep.
yeah, but she's kind of like a low grade not even like really celebrity kind of like
Yeah.
I mean, how many views does this video have, or like how many subscribers does this channel have?
This got 2.2 million views,
Okay.
and they have 1 million subscribers.
Yeah, I mean, 1 million people, that's a lot, but I don't think it'll be enough to warrant like that sort of attention from like everywhere you go, someone's gonna recognize you. You know, celebrities have like hundreds of millions of followers.
Yeah.
So,
And we don't even know what extent their parents are gonna do. What are her parents gonna do to like film her? We don't even know how far they're gonna.
yeah. But yeah, that's interesting. Her
Yeah.
childhood ruined.
Huh?
Her childhood's ruined. Let's
Yeah,
just
it's
we
over.
could jump to that conclusion. We made it. It must be true.
You know what,
You're
guys?
not going to college? Childhood over.
He's not, dude. How's she gonna be an engineer?
How
the
how
heck?
is she gonna talk to other babies?
Not gonna be able to interact with humans ever again.
She's not gonna know how to solder a
Is she
wire,
gonna
two
know
wires
English?
together.
Is she gonna be able to even speak?
She's gonna be able to speak fish.
Maybe this will be like the first mermaid because she was like made on the sea.
Yeah, I don't know. She
Gonna
could
be
probably
like a
hold her breath
mermaid
really
person?
long.
Yeah, probably.
It's good for her. So
But yeah, that was that. I mean, like, you know, whatever. Maybe I'm sure everything's gonna work out for her. You know, she seems to like, at least what you said. I kind of, you know, you changed my mind a little bit. I kind of agree. Her
okay.
life could be pretty sick. Her life could be pretty cool.
Yeah, it could be. You know, like it's definitely like an adventurous lifestyle, which you know maybe she really enjoys.
Yeah.
We'll see.
And
Check back in 10 years.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll check their YouTube channel in 10 years. But so the next thing that we both thought was pretty interesting was this, something that maybe a little more college students could relate to.
Oh yeah.
And it's this honor lock system. And you wanna introduce this one?
Yeah. So Honor Lock, I think how it works is a software used by students and teachers, and this ranges from like, I'm guessing all ranges of students, so college, middle school, high school, right? And it's just a way for it to online monitor your exam taking and your test taking. So like usually when you take a test in like physical real life, you know, you'll have proctors like kind of roaming around the room to make sure you're not cheating. But for kids who are taking classes online, especially now, and like, you know, people who take online classes too, this is a way for teachers to proctor their students taking exams online.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think how it works is like they have your webcam on, right? And they first validate your identification by you taking a picture of yourself holding up like your thing or your I guess some form of like student ID.
Yeah.
Then you take like a 360 video of like your entire room.
You gotta show off your
and
whole
then
room.
you have the webcam on all the time, and then you connect all your devices to this software so that it can track all like the search activity, and then someone's consistently watching you while taking this exam.
Well, apparently, when it comes to somebody watching you, they have AI technology to basically tell your proctor, hey, this person looks like they might be cheating, and then a proctor will show up and like look at you. So they use
I'm
AI
very
technology.
curious how they do that. Probably like what your eyes are doing, like it's looking over here, or like it's looking
maybe
over here.
what your mouse is doing on the screen. Who knows? And what's even crazier, I've heard this from one of my friends. So I learned about HonorLock because one of my friends has to use it for his classes right now because they're all online.
Oh, interesting.
And apparently they change your web results. So when you look up something on the web and it's over your Wi-Fi, so over your entire Wi-Fi on any device, they'll change your web results and they'll basically feed you some fake information so that when you put it in, it basically, they know for a fact you cheated. They know you looked something up. So even if you look up something on your phone, they mess it up for you. Yeah.
And that's on their terms of service right here. It's called secondary device detection So it replaces the search results on the applicable secondary device, which is like your phone, with dummy websites owned and operated by HonorLock. So
Yeah.
any searches that relate to the exam will be brought to these dummy websites. So they don't actually benefit anything from these from the answers shown on it.
Yeah.
I'm very curious to see what these dummy websites look like. Do they look like? Do they have answers and they're just the wrong answers?
Most likely, what happens is, what I'm thinking is they basically, because they know exactly what the question is, and you know when you just copy and paste a question onto Google, it just shows up as a first result, the question, and then underneath it, some fake answer, and you put in the fake answer, and it's immediately triggered. Like the bot immediately knows, boom, you're cheating. The proctor comes in, all that, you know. It's crazy.
The proctor bangs on your door. Get the fuck out of here.
FBI breaches into your home.
Get the fuck out. I saw you search up the exam question. My main concern about this is that the proctor is always watching you.
Yeah. Basically, they have the full...
Always on your webcam.
Yeah, they have the full ability to just... And the weird thing is the full scan of, like, you have to do a whole scan of your room. They're messing with your web results. It feels like a huge, like, kind of like invasion of privacy. It doesn't feel right.
To me, it just feels like, it feels creepy. Like, these are like people proctoring our exams are like TAs, like me and you. We're both TAs, right? And we have to proctor exams sometimes. Like, there's people just like our age, like looking at you consistently, like through like one like screen, like watching you take an exam. It's just creepy. Like, I feel like you can get some like pervs like on this and like, you don't know the intentions of like these like people proctoring, right? And they're behind a screen, which can like,
and
I don't know.
No company has perfect coders that never make mistakes. Every single company out there in the whole entire world is gonna be susceptible to hacks and, you know, breaches of security and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Giving this app that full control almost of your computer. It's just,
and all your devices.
Yeah. The ability to change your web results and all that, it's crazy, you know? It's such a breach of, you know, privacy. And professors make you download this. You have to, or you can't take their exams.
It's weird, like the fact that it can change your search results and like bring you to these fake websites. That to me, that type of technology, like in this like sort of context seems like sort of innocent, right? But like branch that out to like beyond this context where you can manipulate people's searches results. Then that gets like, you get like a dystopia, right?
That's a legitimate hack that people do called, I think it's called DNS poisoning or cache poisoning. And what they'll do is they call it DNS spoofing or DNS cache poisoning. They'll make you go to a fake website that they created. Let's say you put in your bank information, right? You go to Capital One online or some bank. They'll make a fake Capital One website. They have a little login, and it sends you to a different website. It looks just like Capital One. You sign in, they have your information out, all that stuff. Anything. Maybe they make a fake Facebook website. They make a fake whatever. This is a common hack that people do, and this company is using it for you to not cheat during your exams. But
and that type of attack is usually only to people opening up that website through like a fake email or something like that, right? Where like it definitely won't be the top search result on Google. You know what I mean?
Oh no!
But like this type of technology can make it so that type of website is the top search result, so people do click it. You know?
Yeah. If somebody somehow, and like we said, no company is completely impervious to hacks. So if somebody somehow got control of this app, they got all these students and whatever, and they made it so that you when you look up Capital One or you look up something, whatever, it shows some other website.
Is that attack website thing. Yeah.
So it's
kind of scary. Yeah. I'm very curious on like how they were even to create technology where they were able to manipulate the Google search results. You know, it just kind of seems really. It doesn't seem advanced, but like
it's a Chrome extension.
Oh yeah.
I think it's built into Chrome or somehow or something. It's like if you
Yeah, it probably
willingly,
just like manipulates the HTML or something like that.
yeah, this is like willingly downloading a virus onto your computer, and the only thing stopping it from being a virus is basically hoping that this company doesn't get
Yeah.
breached and the proctors, the people that are watching you, aren't like creepy individuals. It's just
Yeah.
like good faith. That's it. You download a virus and hopefully nobody uses it with malintent.
Yeah. And another problem I see with this is like, I'm sure a lot of people will know, like taking the test, know they're being monitored, but you're definitely going to have instances where like this person, it's like, no way they can see me. Like my webcam's not even on or something like that. No way they know exactly what I'm searching up. You know, people are going to be like, there's going to be so many privacy issues with like people logging to Facebook and like revealing their password to these proctors. And like, I don't know, it just like seems very tempting for like people with bad intentions to act upon this. And
Yeah, and honestly, I didn't even think about the fact that like just regular old TAs, students like us, are watching you, and you don't even know who they're watching. You're right. It's weird. It's weird. Weird time to be living in.
there's this other technology on the app. It's called Search and Destroy. It's this feature where, so if anybody takes the contents of an exam they took and puts it on the internet, this Search and Destroy feature will search for all instances of the internet and delete them permanently, which is kind of crazy. But
wait, how does that work?
I have no idea. Well, like I'm looking at their terms of service on your website, and it says the search and destroy feature ultimately aims to remove any copies of the exam that are on the internet, either temporarily or permanently, while students are taking the exam. So
I was just gonna say, most likely what they're doing is it's just like how they did the searches before. They're just making them not show up.
I don't know. Like I think they're actually removing it from the internet. But I'm like, how do you remove stuff from the internet?
That can't be possible.
Like if you look at my screen, I'm showing it right here. You can look at it. It says HonorLock crawls the internet for copies of the exam and initiates takedown procedures under the Digital Millennium Copyright Act, which allows copyright holders
so they
demand
legit,
that. Yeah.
They legit will go out of the way and they'll take it down for real.
Yeah. So I think they either like sue the person who posted it or the website, like saying you have copyrighted material on your website. You have to take it down by this Digital Millennium Copyright Act. And that's how they remove it.
But they're serious. They're very serious about this. Wow.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy. Wow. But also one other thing, which is like I'm kind of relieved by, because I did read this terms of service for some reason. I was like, this is really cool. Is I was wondering, like, okay, so if you get caught cheating, right? They have access to all like your search history, your basically like your whole phone, right? Can they then use that? Can they then access everything in like your phone to find proof that you're guilty, like that you're guilty of cheating? Like once you've been like suspected, can they like then search through like your whole phone, like all your whole computer and all your files to find evidence that you cheated?
Yeah.
And I think this terms of service says like, HonorLock does not investigate misconduct allegations beyond the proctor's limited ability while remotely monitoring the exam. So I think what that statement says is like they can only use data that they collected during the time they were proctoring the exam.
Yeah.
So which is a little better. I thought they were like able to like go into like your whole history, you know, like
companies say that, and we can only hope that they're being 100% truthful about this.
Yeah.
Companies always say that. Oh, we don't take your data. We don't do this. And, you know, it always comes out every year. Here's this company that, you know, like the Cambridge Analytica. Here's how we sold all your data to some other company or whatever.
Yeah.
So we can only hope. And I'm sure, let's give them the benefit of the doubt. They're probably a good company. You know, they probably don't have any malintent. And like they said, they won't go further than what they already provide for the professor.
Yeah.
But that's the thing. you have to be what's it called? You have to just have good faith. You have to have hope that sure they are what they say they are and all that.
Yeah, because like once they get access, they have access to your whole device, like your whole history. They're not just gonna have access to just what you have during the period you give them access. You know, like
Oh yeah.
I don't know. This software is kind of crazy, but
Yeah.
it's a good way to proctor. I'll give you that.
Yeah, I mean they probably do a decent job making sure nobody cheats.
Yeah, because like when you take exams online, it's so easy to cheat. Like,
Oh yeah.
so I mean, there's definitely if like this whole for a very long time, and we have to move to like online exam taking. This definitely does get it done. It's definitely effective.
I hope this doesn't become a norm.
It might have like very bad effects like in the future, or just
Yeah.
like
I hope I never have to download this. Right now my professors aren't using it, so hopefully this doesn't become like a norm or something.
yeah. I would like to see like the exam taking process like sort of revamped. Like instead of just being like stuff you can easily look, try to rework curriculum to like make it so you can only answer this by actually knowing conceptually how.
That's very interesting. Yeah. You're right. I think there's a lot of the times, and I think it depends how much work the professor wants to put in, because I'm telling you, you can do this especially for a lot of like STEM and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Professors, if they're lazy, they'll just go to the back of the book and rip out the test section and be like, okay, here's a bunch of questions, answer them, or just change a couple numbers. But if the professor is driven, yeah, he or she, whatever, will actually make their own questions that are conceptual, that you can't find online. They just got to put in the work.
Yeah,
No?
and my professor did that. I took a CS exam in like programming languages the other week, and he put the exam online. And I tried to look up all the answers, and I couldn't because he made them all up. I did not do good on the exam.
Allegedly.
But like I'm saying, he made the exam pretty hard, despite the fact that I could use Google and all the resources. Like,
Yeah. Exactly.
You
He
had
did his
to
job.
actually know what you were doing to take that exam.
Good. And he did his job. He put in the work, and there you go.
Yeah.
People can't cheat. There you go. It's that easy. You know, you don't have to worry about all this whole privacy thing and everything.
Yeah, we didn't need somebody looking down at my whole room and where my eyes were looking for me to not. But I mean, I guess he didn't really monitor like that. We could all collaborate with each other while taking the exam.
But that's easy to see, like when answers are similar.
Yeah, exactly. And I guess for like programming, like it's easier to see like if your code is the exact same thing.
Oh yeah. They even saying here, something that they do is like when you do the full scan in a room, you can't have it be all dark. Oh, here you go. This is what triggers the AI. If you accidentally look off into the distance, or your roommate walks into the room unannounced, our live virtual proctor will pop in to assess the situation. And then they also do something where the professor will be able to review the recording of your virtually proctored exam to review any flagged incidents. So they're recording you.
Wait, so does that statement say that the proctor will only be able to see your webcam if an AI trigger comes off?
No.
Because I read somewhere
it'll just trigger them.
Oh, it would just say like this person might be cheating,
And
but they can always watch it.
They can review the recording afterwards. So they have the recording saved and they can review it.
And they're watching live too.
Yep.
It's weird for me, like as a you.
Wait, say that again. You kind of broke up a little bit.
Oh, sorry. I was saying, like, for me, it's like as an exam taker, it's really weird knowing that a person is watching you like through that as you're taking the exam. I would get nervous. Like I
had to do that for one of my exams. We went into a Zoom call and he was watching us, and here and there I'd like look at my phone because I felt weird. I had my phone camera on, and I just kept looking at my phone. It was really weird to just like I look at it and I'm like, I wonder if he saw me look at my phone. Do I look sus right now? And I'd go back.
Yeah. Like, what if I want to pick my nose like while taking the exam? I should be doing the
dude.
Oh,
Yeah, what if I just want to, just get a little freaky while I take my exam? What the heck?
I just want to, itch my butt, but I can't because someone's watching.
Exactly. What the heck?
Yeah.
Crazy world that we live in. This
Yeah,
shit is
these
getting
are-
wild.
Yeah. All right. Well, I think we covered a lot on this episode.
A lot about
Yeah.
schooling.
Mm-hmm.
Stay in school, kids, not stay in kids' school. Stay in school, kids.
But this was good. All these different things we talked about were connected. You could definitely
wait.
like.
But you broke up again. I don't know why. I don't know what's happening. All of a sudden.
All right, just get the outro. I had to take out my AirPods because the mic was dead, or it was dead.
Oh, okay, whatever. Anyway, thank you to all of our FBI agents that came in, tuned in today, listened. All of our NSA agents. Shout out to Steve, my FBI agent.
What's up, Frank?
And
Bartholomew.
Frank. Yeah, of course. We can't forget about Bartholomew. Obviously Jalen and Yomi didn't show up today. Maybe in a future, maybe next episode they'll show up. We'll see. It's just kind of weird because nobody knows who these people are. We just have pictures of them just up. So whatever.
Who's Jalen?
Who's Yomi? Like we just have these two random, just like who are these guys, and they never talk. Anyway, maybe they'll show up next episode.
Yeah.
But yeah, thank you for tuning. This was Chris, and that was my host Rob, my co-host. And we'll see you guys next time. Maybe. I don't know.